In about 15 minutes, this little board on my desk is going to write me a sentence. And nothing, not a single word of it, is going to leave this room. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Smart Workshop. Last episode we picked hardware. Today we put it to work. By the end of this video, you will have a real large language model running locally on a computer that costs you less than a nice dinner. Let's go. Step 1 is the operating system, and we're doing this headless. No monitor, no keyboard, no desktop environment. There's a temptation, especially if you're new to this, to plug in a screen and set it up like a little PC. Don't. Every watt and every megabyte of RAM that a desktop environment eats is a watt and a megabyte your model doesn't get. And more importantly, everything else in this series, the cluster, the agents, all of it, assumes you're comfortable reaching this machine over the network. Might as well start now. So go download the Armbian image for the board you've chosen and write the image to the drive. I usually use Etcher. Pop the drive back in your SBC and boot it up. Armbian ships with SSH enabled, so once you find it on your network, you can SSH to it and use the default root account, which is root and password is 1234. It'll then prompt you to change that and set up a new account, which will have sudo permissions. It'll prompt you for some other basic setup as well. This is really great. We can set this up fully headless without ever plugging in a screen or keyboard. Now, first boot hygiene. 3 things, quickly. Update the packages because the image you downloaded is already out of date. Set the host name to something you'll recognize, and check your time synchronization is running. That sounds trivial, and it is not. Later in this series, when we're clustering these boards together, a machine whose clock has drifted will cause you an afternoon of pain, and the error message will not mention time. So, check it now. One more thing while we're here. If you took my advice last episode and got a board with an NVMe drive, make sure you're actually booted from it and not from an SD card you left in the slot. I have absolutely done that and then wondered why everything was slow. Alright, the model. We're going to use a tool called Ollama. Ollama is the thing that makes this episode 15 minutes instead of an afternoon. It handles downloading models, it handles the runtime, it gives you a clean way to talk to a model from the command line or over an API. Installing it is genuinely one command, and I'll have it on screen. That's it. That's the install. This is temporary to get you here quickly. Later in the series, when we set up the cluster, this will all be containerized. Now we pull a model. And I want to explain my choice here because it matters more than it looks. We're going to start with a small model. Something in the 3 billion parameter class. And I know. Some of you want to jump straight to the biggest model your board can theoretically hold. Resist that. There are 3 reasons. First, it fits comfortably. It'll load, it'll leave you memory to actually work, and it won't take your board to its knees. Second, it's fast. You'll get as close to a conversational pace, and that feels like success. And feeling like success on your first build matters. And third, and this is the real reason, right now we are not testing the model. We are testing the chain: board, operating system, runtime, model, output. 5 things that all have to work together. When you start with something small and it works, and then later you load something large and it doesn't, you know instantly it's a memory problem and not a broken install. Debugging is so much easier when you've only got one new variable at a time. That's just good engineering, and it applies to a lot more than this. So, pull the model. It downloads a couple of gigabytes. Go make a coffee. And now the moment. We run it. And I want you to open a second terminal side by side and run htop in it so you can watch what happens to your memory and CPU cores when the model loads. You'll see a big chunk get claimed all at once. That's the weights going into RAM. And then you'll see the processor cores light up when it starts generating. Let's ask it something. I'll type a question, hit enter, and there it is. Words. Coming out of a computer on my desk, generated by a machine I own, in a room with no internet connection required. Okay. I need to be honest with you about what you're looking at because this is the part of the tutorial where a lot of channels would cut to a hype montage. On the bench, this is a board that costs under $100, drawing a couple of watts sitting idle, and maybe 2 or 3 times that while it's thinking. That is remarkable. It's also, right now, slower than the cloud service you're used to, noticeably slower. Like, slower than dirt, right? And a 3 billion parameter model is not a genius. It'll write you a decent email. It'll summarize a document. Ask it a hard reasoning question, and it will confidently tell you something wrong and lie to you all day. Want to have a good laugh? Try this. Ask it to give you a paragraph summary of your favorite movie. The response, I can promise you, will be hilarious. Reality check. Both of those things are fine and they're expected. And if you stop the series here, you'll conclude that local AI is a disappointing toy and at best is a big fat liar that will hallucinate everything. So let me tell you where the capability actually comes from. It does not come from this one model. It comes from the stack we're about to build around it. A model with memory, real persistent memory that survives across every conversation, is a fundamentally different thing than a model without it. A model with tools that can look at your infrastructure and read logs and drive a browser is a different thing again. A model that runs inside a governed system where it can act, but only within limits you set. That's not a chatbot at all anymore. That's a colleague with a job description. That's what we're building. This little 3 billion parameter model writing sentences on my desk is not the destination. It's the proof that the road exists. And there's one more thing you get right now, today, that no cloud service will ever give you. Unplug your internet. Go on. Pull the cable out of the wall and ask it another question. It still answers. It's yours. Next time, we stop guessing and start measuring. Everybody on the internet quotes tokens per second, and almost nobody tells you which number they measured or why yours is going to be different. We're going to benchmark this thing honestly, including the number that gets worse after 10 minutes that nobody ever shows you. I'm Joe with the Smart Workshop, and I'll see you next time.